Hello viewers, welcome to SIASA. My guest today, the Honorable Victor Karithi Mutuma, the leader of Majority Party, the County Assembly of Meru, and also the chairman, the caucus of County Assembly Majority Leaders. My name is Godfrey Mutiga. I hope you are doing well and I wish to welcome you all. The Honorable Karithi, welcome to SIASA.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mutiga.
Yes.
I'm very happy to be here and well done on this initiative. I actually like the program.
All right.
I've had an opportunity to watch it a few times.
All right.
And I'm happy to be part of this show. Yeah.
All right. It's a pleasure, Honorable Karithi, having you in our show. Mheshimiwa, you're the lead of government business at the County Assembly of Meru.
True.
The lead of majority. The issue of county health workers wanting to seek a 21 days intervention, divine intervention, after their issues seem to be a bit frustrated in terms of their salaries, in terms of their promotions, then their statutory deductions. As the leader of government business at the County Assembly, what is your comment?
First of all, I must appreciate the critical role that health workers, play in any society, not just in Meru.
Yes.
And any human being can only thrive well when they are assured of proper health care.
Yes. And
it is only prudent that any government takes matters health care very seriously. I've seen, and interacted with a number of doctors and health workers.
Yes.
Who've a number of issues that that they've raised.
Yes.
And I must let the viewers know that although we're on recess,
yes,
basically our county assembly is on recess. We still are alive to what happens around.
Yeah.
So I can only comment and state that we are in discussions with the Department of Health.
Yes.
The CECU is concerned, and the relevant other officers under the county government.
Yes. And
in due course, I'm sure that there will be, further directions on how these issues will be handled.
Yes.
But my reassurance to the health workers from where I sit is that we as elected leaders, we value them.
Yes.
And we know the incredible role that they play in the counties.
All right.
And in any case, we live amongst them. Our parents, our relatives, our voters are the ones who go to these health centers, the dispensaries, all the hospitals.
All right.
So we've every reason to want to make sure that their issues are properly handled.
Yes.
Sometimes we know there are challenges, including challenges of budgets.
Yes.
Like at the moment, even after we passed the budget of the last financial year, no single coin has trickled down to the counties.
Yeah.
Salaries haven't been paid, including the salaries for MCs and all county workers as it is.
Yes.
So we can only hope that with time these issues will be resolved.
So it's your observation that you as the leader of government business and together with other MCAs, after the recess, you are likely to look at this issue?
Yeah, I definitely. These among many other issues.
Yes.
These are things that are very close to our hearts.
Yeah.
Because it's a matter of life and death, really. When you talk about health workers, you're talking about issues to do with life and death.
Yes.
So they come first on our entry. We really have to handle some of these issues. But as I've said, we only handle them to the level that we are capable. For instance, if the monies haven't been sent from Nairobi, then we can only continuously urge the Treasury to do this or the other, because these are monies that we don't have at the county level.
All right.
Yeah.
The feeling that the county has not performed to its expectations, to the expectations of the people of Meru County. what do you have to say about the general performance of the county government?
Well, obviously, because we live in a democratic county, democratic country, and the world.
Yes.
Those who are against the government will always say that, you know, the government hasn't done X, Y, Z.
Yes.
You know what I always argue is there is always room for improvement for any human being, for any government, for any organization. And I can attest to the fact that the governor of Meru, Kiraitu Murungi, the deputy governor, and the entire executive have done quite a lot over the last 4 years or thereabout. And I proudly attest to the fact that the manifesto that this government came into power with has been largely executed. Talk of the boreholes, talk of the healthcare. You know, like in my ward, for instance, we have 2 new facilities that were not there, brand new. And you know, they ease the pressure on you know the distance that patients have to trek seeking for health care. Of course, the infrastructure on roads has improved. However, there is a lot more that needs to be done, particularly on matters to do with roads.
Yes.
We've seen the boreholes. We are getting close to the mark of particularly in Athona, we are almost getting to close to 10 boreholes. Okay. Which is you know, from zero. We didn't have even one in Athona, for instance. And we could cite a number of other mega projects in the county. You know, talk of cabros in the mega towns. We now have Meru town as a municipality, you know, and a few others coming up. We've seen the process of land adjudication coming through. Like in my ward, we're about to receive close to 15,000 title deeds. You know, some of these things are not very easy to parade. You know, you can't parade title deeds all the day, every day. But there are things that will live in the minds of the citizens who get to benefit from these you know, projects. So overall, I would very, very happily give Governor Kiraitu's administration you know, 75 to 80%. You know, in my humble estimation. But of course, those who are against the governor may not necessarily be generous. You know? And that is expected in politics.
So, Mheshimiwa, you're saying the allegations that have been leveled against the government are just hot air? That's what you're saying?
I mean, what allegations? I mean, no, precisely, let's be very...
Like last week we were talking to the former Imentino, the MP, Silas Muriuki, who said the government has nothing to show. So such allegations, Mheshimiwa, you are just saying are just hot air. That's what you're saying?
I mean, I respect Muriuki a lot. He's the age of my father. But we only differ politically. He's in a different... He believes strongly on the former governor's ideologies. All right. I happen to believe very strongly on the ideologies of the current governor. And with a lot of respect, I would want to differ with Senior, you know, the former member of parliament, Muriuki. Because what I've just talked about, say the boreholes, say the health facilities that that have been constructed. You know, the level 5 that is coming up. You know, the oxygen plant we have, the cabros, you know, a number of projects. You can't say that is trash. You can't just trash all that just because you differ with a leader on political on the political line. So, excuse me, it's okay for Honorable Muriuki and any other leader to have their opinions. And that's why after every 5 years, the citizens have an opportunity to make a decision of whether they want the same to continue, whether they want a change, whether they want to get back to some other governments. Yeah, and it's a right that every citizen has.
I would like us to touch a bit on Adwana Ward. You are the MCA representing the people of Adwana. And recently you have come out strongly to ask for donations because there's drought in parts of Adwana and parts of Tigania. Are you telling the people of Meru that the dream of making Meru great is failing in mashinani? What is happening?
Now, first of all, I would want everybody to note that Adwana ward is the largest amongst all the other wards, particularly in Tigania West constituency. We have five wards.
Yes.
And it's the geographical location. It borders Isiolo.
Yes.
It's a remote area. There's no cash crop. We don't have tea. We don't have coffee. We don't have miraa. We don't have bananas. So it's basically a grazing area. We grow maize and beans. We also have some cotton, especially closer to Isiolo, the boundary with Isiolo. We also have livestock.
Okay.
So it's a dry area. So anytime we have problems with the rains, we have food shortages.
Yes.
And you can't blame that to Kiraitu or Munya or any politician.
Okay.
I mean, these are problems that we've had over the years. The only problem is that we need to be asking ourselves, what have we been doing about that problem all these years?
Yes.
I've talked about getting close to 10 boreholes under Governor Kiraitu and my leadership as the area MCA.
Yes.
Previously, we didn't have not even one. Well, actually, we had one courtesy of Red Cross. I think there is another one that had been sunk by Intex while they were doing a certain road project, and maybe two others many years ago.
Yes.
But under the devolved government, we can only be proud of what we've gotten in the last 4 years under Governor Kiraitu. So we have challenges, yes, and I've sent an appeal to anybody who cares to listen to come forth and help, particularly the children who are in school and the elderly, those above 60. There are those who are unable to go and do some vibaruas and stuff like that to get a little living. So the problem is still there, but I cannot attribute that to lack of leadership. I would be naive to do that. I can only say that if we can only continue what we've begun, the sinking of boreholes, the diversification of the crops that can endure the climatic conditions that are there, if we can only continue pushing for the implementation of Kingiro Water Project, which was meant to impact positively on this semi-arid part of Meru, and pushing for more and more projects, for irrigation. Then we can be moving forward. We've recently gotten some water tanks to help store water. We've recently, we've been involved with the afforestation, especially in Kwani Hills, which is in Adwana ward.
Yes.
And courtesy of this government, we have employees who are now protecting that catchment area because it's where the springs of Camberia, which is within Adwana, comes from.
All right.
And without this foresight, without the effort of making sure that the few catchment areas that we have are protected, then we'll be facing a very difficult future.
Okay.
Yes, especially in terms of the weather patterns that we experience in Adwana. So I think it is my submission that we're still in need of more support. Yesterday I was in conversations with some of my friends in the US. I'm hoping that 1 or 2 schools may get some little food.
Yes.
I don't know whether that will go through. We're writing proposals. We've submitted our request to the county government. We've appealed to the county commissioner and other leaders. So that at least we can have some food for people between now and when we expect rains.
All right.
Yeah, and I always like emphasizing that people of Adwana are not lazy. People of that region are not lazy. It's only the circumstances that they find themselves in.
So there is more sensitization on the way they should diversify their lives, because you've said it's mostly a dry area.
It is a dry area. Actually, like 90 majority of, actually, what, 95%
95%
of my entire
okay.
of my entire ward is
Yes.
a semi-arid area. And I've always argued,
Yes.
just like the national government considers Isiolo favorably by giving them a free the food program for the primary schools especially, they need to remember that Meru, particularly Adwan and the lower part of Tigania, east and west, and the Gembes, they also share the same problems.
Yes.
Actually, Isiolo International Airport is in Adwana. Many people may not know that, but even one of the polling stations where I was voted in was right at the middle of Isiolo International Airport. Only that recently we've had to move it to pave way for the runway for the international airport. So that whole area requires to be given the same attention that Isiolo and other remote parts of this country gets.
I'll be given. Why you went to politics and why you chose Adwana, and why and what have you done so far for the people of Adwana, even to give you that position to represent them? Most probably would like to mention that.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, Adwana is where I was born and brought up. I went to school there, my earlier formative ages, and therefore I wouldn't have thought of a better place to seek for election.
Yes.
Now, how I got into politics has been a mystery to many, because there are those who are associated with my family background. Yes. Because my great grandfather was a leader, my grandfather was a leader, my father was a councillor. He was the vice chairman of Nyambene County Council. Okay. But that is not what made me get into politics. I always like clarifying that. All along, since I left university, I started getting involved with projects that had a community, some community bias. I always wanted to reach out to communities and make a difference. So even before I started working in Meru, I was working in parts of the coast, the coast region. I worked in Nairobi, some communities around the Maasai region, Nyanza province, and I also got opportunities to work with communities in Europe, particularly around the Heathrow Airport. I got some exposure with communities in the southern states, in the US. Yes. And when election time came, I got to look at the profiles of those who are seeking to be elected. Yes. And I felt that my people could do better with my skills, the skills that I had acquired over time. Yes. And in any case, I'd spent a number of years trying to make a difference to communities. Yes. So I felt given an opportunity, because anyway, politics, when you're in politics, you're in a position of influencing policies and what basically happens. Yes. I felt that it would be a good platform for me to help the community in Adwana get to another level. And that's how I ended up joining politics. It wasn't easy because, even when you do so much for community members, politics still need to play politics. Yes. So that's how I got in. I've never had any regrets. Of course, there are challenges because the expectations are always so high. Yes. Previously, I was involved with helping children get education. Actually, working closely with my friends, especially in the US and the UK, we've had over 100 children who've gone through school courtesy, of the charity efforts. And we would want to continue doing more now that we're in positions of influence in government. Yes. And that's exactly what we're doing. So, about what we've been able to achieve so far, I mentioned that water is a serious challenge. So we've so far, we've sunk 7 boreholes and rehabilitated 1. That makes them 8.
Yes.
We have a mega tank that we constructed and rehabilitated a water project that was collapsing. That's Camberia Water Project. It's now up and running, of course, with challenges. And we need to do more on that front. We came in with our background of conservation. So we've put a lot of emphasis on rehabilitating and conserving Kwani Hills, where we have employees making sure that the hill is properly taken care of. We've constructed classrooms. We have a new classroom at Kamanoro, another one at Maida Primary, another one at Limoro, another one at Nkilodo Primary School.
Yes.
We also have those that had been half-built. We constructed, we completed the one at Lashiadorio, at Kibiro, at Mweronkoro.
Yes.
We've also constructed an extra one through funds sourced from US in a public primary school known as Kamanoro.
Yeah, through your initiative?
Through my initiative, yes. Through my initiative. I reached out to some of my friends there. We've also done quite a bit because I always argue that in leadership, you cannot by all means just rely on government's support. You need to go out there and make friends and get people to support good ideas.
Yes.
We've also had very consistent education days because now that we don't have tea, we don't have coffee, we don't have mira and other cash crops.
Yes.
My argument has always been, where possible, let's empower the young children who are in school so that they can go through the education system, and then that can turn out to be their cash crop.
All right.
Because, even though we come from a very hard area, we have brilliant children.
Okay.
And we've been supportive of that. We give bursaries. Unfortunately, the bursaries that we have are so limited. Every ward gets a maximum of 3 million Kenyan shillings.
Okay.
And you can imagine with 3 million shillings, when you get, say 3,000 students applying, then you get to see the dilemma that we are faced with.
Okay.
And everybody insists that they are taxpayers, they are encountering serious challenges, so they need support. Sometimes you'd want to say only the orphans probably get, it becomes a problem. Some argue that there are some orphans who have well-endowed relatives. Relatives ought to help. So it's a huge debate. Okay. So these are some of the challenges that we get. But overall, I can say that we've also improved the road infrastructure in Athwana in a great way. But of course, I admit that a lot more needs to be done. We have 2 new health facilities. We specifically have Murota, which is right next to the highway towards Mudhara. Actually, just before Muriri, after Ngondone, in between there. There is also another one in a remote area below Mwerondo, known as Maliachoro. Is a new dispensary. We have a livestock market, which is yet to be commissioned. It's close to Isiolo Airport in an area known as Kandebene. We fixed a few floodlights here and there, but we need to fix more. Okay. We have a program that we've been supportive of, known as Weed Lab. It's a mega project in Athwana. It's a multi-billion project, actually. Okay. We estimate that it, close to 15 billion shillings will be spent once that project will be up and running, and it's in advanced stages. I've talked about an achievement of fast-tracking the process of getting title deeds, close to 15,000 title deeds, which are about to be given to people, hopefully within the course of this year.
All right.
So basically, we could go on and on.
All right.
Yeah.
Mheshimiwa, with that background and without you stating what we have achieved so far, we have 1 year to election. Do you believe there are areas that you haven't touched yet, that you touch?
I've always told the people that I represent, even 1,000 years from today, we'll have challenges. I think, for a human being, your challenges end when you die.
Okay.
I mean, when you are 6 feet down.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So but what I always argue is, when you give a leader an opportunity, evaluate them based on certain parameters. Look at what, for instance, the predecessor was doing, vis-a-vis what they are doing, and gauge any other you know, seek of the position on, you know, how, whether there is any possibilities of them doing even better. I mean, those are the parameters that any citizen ought to look at. So I still believe that even with the 1 year that is left, we cannot possibly have all roads marred. We cannot possibly have all bridges fixed. We cannot possibly have enough bursaries for everybody. So I think in this life, all what we need to do is do the most whenever we are given an opportunity, just like I'm doing. And, you know, come next elections, that is 9th of August, I will be presenting myself to the electorates. They are the ones who've been seeing what we've been doing, and they're the ones who will credit. Or
so, you know, so you are telling us you still want to go for a re-election in 2022?
Oh yeah! Oh my goodness! But of course, it's you know, God willing, will give any opponent a very resounding defeat in the next elections. We'll trash them very seriously. And watch this space. Yes, watch this space.
All right, Mheshimiwa. That's fair enough. I would like to talk a little bit on Mount Kenya politics. Huh?
Yes.
You have come out openly as a strong proponent of Mount Kenya East Party. And you are saying the ongoing coalitions, especially the coalitions, the people asking for coalitions in Mount Kenya. We have seen Moses Kuria, we have seen Martha Karua, we have seen Mwangi Kujuri coming, proposing that there should be a coalition of parties in Mount Kenya. And you, on your side, are coming out strongly to say we need a Mount Kenya East Party. What is your position on this?
Now, one thing that I would want to remind everybody who cares to listen is in the 90s we had this push for multipartism. So our founding fathers and those who are there before us felt that it was important not to just have one party leading this country, and they succeeded. So we got a number of political parties. And now we're faced with another situation where the former Prime Minister, who is the leader of ODM, is really pushing to have a rejuvenated ODM party. We also have the Vice President, the Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto, pushing to have UDA as very strong national parties. But from experience, and I speak this as the Jubilee member, we've looked at how the Jubilee arrangement has treated us. We've seen what has happened to some of the Jubilee leaders who dared to have divergent views on certain national matters. And we are disturbed that our democracy has not gotten to the level where we can really think of political parties as having very serious ideologies that can go beyond an individual. What we have now are individuals and not parties. So we have a feeling that we should not empower any political party to the point of it feeling too big for everybody else. And then having 2 or 3 people, a clique of like 5 people controlling things that say in Nairobi, either in Ngara or some other place in Nairobi, and then manipulating, saying that one spoke negatively, the other one, let's crack the whip, let's hit the other one. So we are trying to have a voice, especially for the mountain region, for Mount Kenya East region, where we'll also get to the national politics, we'll get an opportunity to, to argue our case for the people of this region in our own unique party.
Yes. In other words, you're saying having a Mount Kenya East party will help you achieve the bigger objective.
It'll help us in a big way, because you see, when we get one huge political party, we may get lost in there, like we got lost in the Jubilee arrangement, like people got lost in the KANU arrangement. So we are pushing for an idea where the Mount Kenya East spearheads a political party, just like Wiper has been spearheaded by the the Kamba region.
Yes.
ANC has been spearheaded by the Western. ODM has been spearheaded by Luo Nyanza, and so on and so forth. So we feel that we can start off with the idea jointly with Isiolo, Meru, maybe Marsabit, Tharaka Nithi, Embu, Meru. Those,
yes.
Whenever we talk about Mount Kenya East, those are mainly the ones we're referring to.
Yes.
And then we can get many other people following from, say, Nakuru, Nairobi, all over across the country. Because anyway, you cannot have a political party without presence in 24 counties. That wouldn't be permissible in the Kenyan laws. So we are pushing for that, and soon, probably within next month, by end of next month, we will have a party up and running, and we're appealing to everybody to, be patient. In any case, elections are still like 11 months away. So there's still a lot of time to plan, to organize, reorganize, have candidates, debate about who among the presidential hopefuls has the best interest of this region at heart. And so on and so forth. But we'll have candidates for this political party at the MCA level, at the Member of Parliament level, and all these other levels. About the presidency, we still have a long way to go before decisions can be made on who's placed on the table very serious benefits to the people of this region. And when I say benefits, it doesn't necessarily mean political, appointments. It means who has the best policies that will benefit the people of Meru, who has a very clear roadmap on, for instance, what needs to happen to have a vibrant market for miraa, because that's a localized issue. Who among the top leaders has a proper understanding of the problems the livestock herders who form the majority of the people of who I represent, for instance, who has the best solutions to the problems that they face of insecurity and so on. So we cannot just run blindly to any political leader without first of all having to agree that these are the demands that we have. Because these people come for political rallies, they are given a little notes and said talk about this road, talk about this other issue, but we would really want to understand whether they have understood, whether they have internalized these concerns that the people of Meru and this region have, so that then if we advise our people that, let's go to the deputy president and vote him in as the president. Let's go in and vote the former prime minister as the president. Let's go for Mukisa Kitui or any other leader for that matter. We'll have enough reasons and our conscience will be extremely clear on why we are giving this why we're encouraging our people to vote in a certain way.
So you're saying there's no backing out on that?
No. And we cannot be intimidated. We cannot be forced to join either ODM or UDA or any other party for that matter. We are literate enough. We are politically conscious enough to make decisions. We have gurus, political gurus here like Kiraitu Murungi, who's been part of forming Safina, NAC Kenya, PNU, Jubilee, all these parties. So the experience is within this region. We have other prominent leaders, Justin Muturi, we have the governor of Tharaka Nithi, and many others, even those who are aspiring to be leaders. We have, aspiring members of parliament, aspiring MCAs, those who have been there before, or those who want to join now.
Yes.
So we are not short of ideas. We have so many of them. It's just about organizing them and making sure that we make the most out of the experience that is all over in this county and beyond.
Honorable Karithi, thank you very much for coming to our program. I'm sure we'll call you again, especially when we want to discuss matters of county importance and even national politics. I
will only urge, especially my fellow Marians and Kenyans, to be extremely wary, especially during this electioneering period. Let not the youth be misused. Let not the women or anybody get misused by the politicians. Let's have a peaceful electioneering period. Campaigns comes and goes, and so let's make sure that we elect credible leaders from the grassroots, that's the MCA, to the presidency. Let us not be influenced by factors that are not useful for the posterity of this great nation.
Honorable Karithi, thank you very much. See you next time.
Okay, thank you.
Viewers, that has been SIASA. I've been your host, Godfrey Mutiga. See you next time.